What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the full 90 for week 14 of the Premier League predictions. It is nearly December, and that means there's so much football going on, and I'm very, very excited, and I hope you guys are as well. Just want to say massive shout out to all of you for the support on the last video. We got over 10,000 views, 300 likes, and 100 comments. So please, by all means, leave your predictions down in the comments below for a chance to be featured in the next episode of the Premier League predictions, and they are coming thick and fast. I want to give a quick shout out to CJ this week for leaving their predictions on the last week. They got the Man City score exactly correct thanks to West Ham's late consolation goal, but also the result that I was looking for in a comment to be featured, the 1-0 win for Brentford against Everton. Now, don't get me wrong, Brentford played terribly, but so did Everton, and I thought predicting a low-scoring Brentford win there was a fantastic call. So congratulations, CJ. Shout out to you, and thank you for the support on the channel. Like I said, leave your predictions down in the comments below. If we look back at last week's predictions very, very quickly, it was a decent week, but also there were some iffy calls. We had Liverpool to score in both halves. We had both teams to score in the Palace Villa game. We had Arsenal to win 2-0. Leicester to win and both teams to score at 3.2 was the pick of the bunch. I was almost exactly correct. I predicted a 3-2 Leicester win in which Vardy scored 2 or more goals. It was a 4-2 Leicester win in which Vardy scored 2 goals. So very, very close, but the narrative of that game we got spot on. So long may it continue into game week 14. Kicking off, we have Newcastle up against Norwich, and it ends here. Newcastle's winless run ends here. Newcastle can join every other team, I believe, in England's top 4 leagues in getting a win. I think they can beat Norwich. I think the combination of playing Norwich at your home ground with a new manager is the best chance Newcastle have to get a win. If they don't get a win here, don't get me wrong, Norwich's fortunes have turned around a little bit. They looked well worthy of the draw against Wolves in the previous game week, but Newcastle, it's genuine, it's do or die. And you know what they say, it's amazing how likely you are to succeed when you have to do something versus when you should do something. Newcastle should be giving teams like, I don't know, Leeds, Burnley, Norwich, a good game, but in this situation, Newcastle have to win, and that has to win mentality. It has to happen in this game. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle win. I think Newcastle, are they going to keep a clean sheet? Probably not. Norwich have got 7 points from the last 3 games, which is as good a form as anyone in the league, really. And so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge. But I think if Newcastle don't win this game, that could be signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, sincerely, the championship. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle. My tip is Newcastle to win at 1.8. And as you can see, the bookies have Newcastle favourites as well. Norwich don't have a great record, or at least recent record at St. James's Park. I'm going to go for the win for Newcastle. Now, after that, we have Leeds up against Crystal Palace. This is going to be a very interesting one. I think Leeds are the bookies' favourites to win this game, but I don't see that at all. I think Leeds have been quite poor this season. I think there are 2 bets I'd have in mind here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Crystal Palace win. And my tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7. I think if you're that way inclined, it's worth looking into the Crystal Palace draw no bet market, or double chance if you want to put it in an ACCA and go really safe. However, it's similar with the whole Newcastle situation. Leeds have to try and get something from this game. They have to be able to score in this game. And Crystal Palace, they got a late consolation goal against Aston Villa, but before that, they were 2-0 down. So I think Leeds will fancy their chances scoring a goal at Ellen Road. So in case it ends in a 1-1 draw, my tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7. Now, after that, we have Southampton up against Leicester. Wasn't too long ago when Leicester put 9 past Southampton and Ralph Hasenhüttl, and I think Leicester are finally starting to bounce back a little bit. Like I said, the narrative with the Leicester-Watford game, I got absolutely bang on, really. 2 Jamie Vardy goals, over 4 goals in the match. It was pretty much spot on. 2 goals to Watford / 2 goals conceded for Leicester. So I have a pretty good feel as to how Leicester games are going to go. Southampton, not quite as wild as Watford in terms of goals. However, I do think they're going to score. They did just ship 4 against Liverpool. So I think Leicester are going to win this game. And the odds are very, very good. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Leicester. And I think Southampton are the odds-on favourites to win this game. My tip is Leicester draw no bet at 1.9. If the game ends in a draw, which it very well could, you get your money back. If Leicester win, you get them at 1.9. I think in years gone by, 2 years ago, I reckon, you'd probably get Leicester at 1.9 odds to beat Southampton outright. But with the recent downturn in Leicester form, you get that at draw no bet. I think the value there is ridiculously good. And I think if you're feeling brave, Leicester to win outright is a very good one. If, to be honest, Newcastle, Crystal Palace and Leicester is a treble. Obviously, if you're feeling brave, I could see that happening. But I think Leicester are well worth the win at St Mary's in this fixture. Now, after that, we have Watford up against Chelsea at Vicarage Road. This is going to be a very interesting one. I thought Chelsea were thoroughly dominant in their game against Manchester United. It was a very, very weird one. You spent the entire game watching it thinking, Chelsea don't deserve to draw this game. Chelsea don't deserve to lose this game. Chelsea deserve to win this game. But then as soon as Mendy passes it to Fred, if Fred buries that or pass it to someone and Man United score and win 2-1, you immediately go from Chelsea deserve to win this game to actually Chelsea deserve to lose this game. Not for lack of attacks, for lack of chances, perhaps lack of clear-cut chances, but all of a sudden they've made two critical errors leading to goals, and at that point you do deserve to lose the game. So it was on a knife edge. In the end, it was a draw. Chelsea, on the balance of play, no doubt deserved to win the game. They couldn't finish their chances. They gave away a sloppy goal and it ended a draw. So Man United will be really happy with that point. Chelsea, not so much at all. Chelsea deserved to win the game, but like I said, had they given up that chance to Fred and he scored, you would be just as right in saying that they deserve to lose the game. So I think Chelsea are going to bounce back here against Watford. Watford have had some crazy games lately, high scoring. We've got Leicester, Man United, Everton, all of which featuring five or more goals. I don't see that happening here. I think Chelsea will not make the same mistake. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Chelsea, and my tip is Chelsea half-time, full-time at evens at odds of 2. I think that's very good value, actually, because Chelsea will have, obviously, in the nature of this tip, they'll have the entire first half to literally just get a 1-0 lead. And I think they're going to do that. And whilst Watford have been exploiting defences like Leicester's, Man United's, Everton's, Chelsea's defence is so far ahead of those three teams I just mentioned. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Chelsea in this one. Moving along to another part of London, it is West Ham up against Brighton. Brighton should have really got something more than a draw, more than a 0-0 draw against Leeds. I think that game was always going to be a draw. I predicted a draw, didn't I? I did. I predicted a draw last week and it did end in a draw. It had draw written all over it, but I do think Brighton should have taken their chances. They're missing that cutting edge, and I think that's going to cost them here at the London Stadium. I think West Ham are going to win this one. West Ham have quietened down a little bit. They only lost by the 1 goal to Manchester City, but don't get it twisted. Man City were dominant throughout that game, and it could have been 3 or 4-1 in the end. I think West Ham are going to win this one. Brighton's inability to take their chances despite the amount they create and the football they play, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win to West Ham in this fixture. And my tip is West Ham to win at 1.85. I can't look past those odds. The bookies are really liking Brighton and their odds to win games this season despite failing to do so in recent weeks. So I'm going to go for the 2-0 win and West Ham to win at those odds. I can't look past it. Now, after that, we have Wolves up against Burnley. And I think I'm going to change my tip. I hate this tip. It's very negative, but I didn't know where else to turn at first. So initially, my tip was under 2.5 goals at 1.66, but that is quite a short price considering Burnley has seen themselves in 3-3 draws and all kinds of crazy things. Obviously, Wolves just drew 0-0 with Norwich. My score prediction is going to be the same as last week. Wolves to win 1-0 against Burnley. I think Wolves are better than Burnley. They're at home, and Wolves should win this game. So my new tip is going to be Wolves to win, and that's a little bit better price at 1.83. So that way, if it does end in a 2-1 or a 3-0 or something like that, it doesn't matter because Wolves win, and I don't see Burnley getting anything at Molineux. If we just check the recent record, Burnley have a pretty decent recent record against Wolves, it has to be said. After beating Wolves at Molineux 4-0 last season, Wolves will be looking to make a bounce back, and Burnley are yet to win a game on the road in the Premier League. So I think Wolves will get the win that they should have got against Norwich in this fixture. But it is worth a shot. Under 2.5 goals could be worth considering. After that, we have Aston Villa up against Manchester City, and this is going to be an interesting one. I originally had 3-1 to Manchester City, but part of me is thinking it really could be a 2-0. You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick with 3-1 to Manchester City. Aston Villa have scored 2 goals in both of their games under Steven Gerrard. They do keep it quite solid at the back. They've only conceded the 1 goal in those 2 games as well. Very Rangers-esque performances from Aston Villa. Not as dominant, but, you know, in terms of scoreline and low goals conceded, etc., it's been very much like that. Manchester City, they could very well win this 2-0, but I'm going to bump it up. Give Aston Villa a goal at Villa Park. They'll be up for it. I think Man City will be too good for Villa. So I am going to stick with the 3-1 Manchester City. And my tip is Man City to win and over 2.5 goals at 1.86, much like the Man City West Ham game. And they ended up winning that one 2-1. So I think we can stick with the same one there. Now, after that, we have the Merseyside derby, Everton up against Liverpool. And it is the game of value. I watched Brentford up against Everton. For some reason, that was the scheduled game on Super Sunday for Sky Sports. Brentford were absolutely terrible, if I'm being honest, but Everton were also absolutely terrible. Luca Digne, one of my favourite players in the league in terms of ability and chance creation, he looked so off the pace. The amount of misplaced crosses, it was really, really difficult to watch, I must say. Everton didn't look good. Brentford were on the back foot. From the minute the second half started, Brentford were on the back foot and Everton looked like scoring a goal. But they could have played for another hour and I don't think Everton would have scored. It was really like that. Brentford got the 1-0 win. Everton are going to get absolutely stuffed by Liverpool. So my prediction is going to be 4-0 to Liverpool. There'll be people on YouTube saying, this is a derby. It's going to be close. No, it is not going to be close. Liverpool are going to win this game 4-0. I think the value here, the safe tip would be Liverpool to win at a -1 handicap of about 2.1, I think. But from what I've seen from Liverpool and what I've seen from Everton, I'm going to go one more. Liverpool -2 handicap at 3.6. I think the most likely scoreline of this game is 3-0. But obviously I've gone with 4-0. And if Everton do score 4-1, -2 still comes in. Liverpool are going to absolutely crush Everton in this fixture. Everton are not the team they are with Calvin Phillips, Calvert-Lewin up front. They're just not. The amount of missed chances, they might get a goal, but I see Liverpool scoring 4, as I said. So my tip is going to be Liverpool -2 at 3.6. Now, after that, we have Tottenham up against Brentford. Tottenham's game against Burnley postponed due to the heavy snow. And Brentford, like I said, getting a brilliant win. It has to be said, ending their winless run. A brilliant win against Everton. And they played them definitely at the right time there to get those 3 points. Tottenham, they are going to beat Brentford in this game. They had a rest. Obviously, they didn't play Burnley at Turf Moor due to the weather. I think this is going to be a fairly straightforward, low-scoring Tottenham win. This is where Tottenham keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Tottenham, and my tip is Tottenham win and under 3.5 goals at 2.25, just in case Brentford get that goal and it ends 2-1 to Tottenham, which is a favourite scoreline of mine and a favourite scoreline of Tottenham's, it has to be said, beating a team that's worse than them but failing to keep a clean sheet at the same time. So Tottenham to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.25, and after that we have at Old Trafford Manchester United up against Arsenal. I'm not entirely certain if Ralph Rangnick will be taking charge of the team at Old Trafford, but even if he does, it's going to be a little bit before his tactics can really be implemented. A lot of people were theorising that the Manchester United we saw at Stamford Bridge was a Ralph Rangnick side, was his tactics. Again, absolutely not. The same way they said against Villarreal, United changed their style and it was a new United. They absolutely didn't. They gave up so many chances. They looked toothless. I think that is the least likely Man United have looked like scoring a goal in the Premier League for years. They didn't look like scoring a goal ever at all. There was a 5-minute spell after they got the lucky break and scored through a Jorginho mistake that they looked a little bit better, but still there were no clear-cut chances created after that. I think this is going to be a very difficult game to call. I thought Arsenal were worthy winners against Newcastle, so I'm going to go for a draw, just because I have no idea how Man United are going to set up. They're the home team, even though they don't play that well at Old Trafford, and Arsenal are the form team. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still in charge and there was still that kind of negative aura around the club, I would go for a 2-0 Arsenal win here, genuinely. I think Arsenal's back line has been phenomenal. Ramsdale's been really good. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and my tip is both teams to score at 1.61. If I had to pick a winner, I would probably go with Arsenal, to be honest. So, in fact, let me think of another bet for you. So, Man United are the bookies' favourites here, but a little cheeky bet for you will be Arsenal double chance and both teams to score, and that gets you 2.7. So chuck in Arsenal not to lose with the both teams to score, and that'll get you 2.7. I think that's very good as well, because I don't know if Man United are ready to face this Arsenal side with the confidence that they have and the confidence that Arsenal have. And that is going to do it for the Week 14 Premier League predictions. I feel like I waffled on a little bit. This was much more of a podcast style video, I felt. Sometimes with these videos, I just smash out the predictions. I think just because week 13 is so fresh in my mind because it literally happened yesterday, as opposed to other videos where I've had a few days to ponder it and I'm not as expressive with my emotions as to how I felt about each and every game. But I really enjoyed filming this video. If you did like it, please do drop a like, subscribe if you're in the majority of people watching this video, as we're about 100 subscribers away from 19,000 and we're looking to try and get 20,000 by the end of the year. So that is going to do it from me. The next video will be another Premier League video coming out in a few days, so I will see you in that video very soon.